while I was 8, 10 years old, sleeping on the floor in the box, eating me mosquitoes. And I'll just get up some days and I'll just kill, so every night basically, I'll kill bed bugs from my clothes. Because I'll sleep on the floor. So I usually go to this shopkeeper that's at the corner. And we kind of have like an agreement, right?
Yes.
I help him clean the shop and stuff. And he'll give me boxes, like carton boxes. And I'll just cut them and lay on them at night. So while I'm sleeping on there, and sometimes I have to wake up and kill the bugs on the wall and stuff, I always say, one day I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to have a nice bed. I didn't think it was going to be $47 later, but just that I would buy a house eventually. So that's what it always started, that I'm always going to strive for more.
Ghetto.
Good idea, now we buying merch.
Girl, that's ghetto.
Payment miss.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Say she quit.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Late on your rent.
Rent is ghetto.
New event.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Invoice in.
That ain't ghetto.
Money spent.
Oh, that's ghetto. Hold on, it's kind of ghetto being a CEO.
Have you been completely isolating yourself in business? Like, you don't have people that you could do this business with. Well, you need coworkers, and that is why we created the Entrepreneurs Coworkers Community. This allows you to be able to develop relationships with other people in your community. So in the Entrepreneurship Coworkers Community, we give you a quiz to find out who you are and what type of CEO you are. And in this quiz, you get to meet other CEOs that may be more creative or traditional or hybrid. We have these CEOs there for you. But even taking it up a notch, we have local chapters in your city, from Atlanta to Dallas to New York to Houston to Chicago, chapters in your city where we're actually linking up every single month to work together, linking up to go to brunch together, having fun together, doing community service outreach. Like, this is a section of our life where we can really co-work and mingle with other people. It's time for you to get some coworkers, sis. And this community is completely free. Just because you're watching this podcast, all you have to do is stop, pause the podcast, click the link below, take the assessment, get in the community, and I'll see you there. Bye, coworker. Back to the episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Ghetto CEO podcast, where we talk about how being a CEO is super ghetto, okay? And a lot of people don't understand the journey. They don't understand the highs. They don't understand the lows. They don't understand what you actually go through as a CEO, okay? But today is not any different than any other day, where we bring on some amazing hitters in the Ghetto CEO podcast, where we talk about all of our entrepreneurship journey. But make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and you join our coworkers community, because not only are we talking about it, but we have other people that you could talk to. We was just talking about like how this feels like a therapy session. You need other people that you can have therapy with that understands this business journey. But today is no different. We are bringing in an amazing CEO. So welcome to the couch. How are you?
Thank you.
First of all, she's giving queen.
African royalty.
Right. Royalty. The queen is here. I love it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
I love it. Thank you for coming. So introduce yourself. Tell them who you are.
So my name is Yamundow. I'm from West Africa. You can tell from my accent. I'm from the Gambia. It's a small country, about 2 million population.
Oh, wow.
It's surrounded by Senegal. So I know most of people are familiar with Senegal. And yeah, I am a real estate investor. I'm a data scientist for the government, U.S. government, and statistical programmer as well. And a mother of 2 and a wife.
Oh, listen, a busy life.
A busy life.
A busy life.
Oh,
I love it. I love it. So how did you, did you grow up in West Africa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how did you, because they always talk about like the American dream,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Like, how did you like decide that you was going to come over here and be an investor? Like, what was that decision to come, or like, how did this start?
That's a good question. So I grew up in West Africa. I grew up as an orphan.
Okay.
I lost my mom when I was 2 and my dad when I was 11.
Wow.
So I grew up in a, so you know how like some people say I get it from the mud?
Right.
Literally get it from the mud. Yeah, so I grew up, my sister had to get married so she can take care of me and my brother, who's like 4 or 5 years older than me.
Okay.
So we literally have to move to her village with her extended family.
Okay.
So we had to live in a family that, and it's the way we live is we live in compounds. So it's like you are living in a family that you know, it's like you don't really belong because it's like extended family. You're the one with the different last names.
Right.
So I used to literally sleep on the floor because I used to pee in bed. So I would sleep on the floor, even though they were. I promised that I wasn't gonna go in detail with all the sad stuff. Yes. But yeah, I grew up as an orphan, abuse, different kind of abuse, physical, anything you think of, I've been through it. So, but one thing about me, and I'm so grateful to God, is I was good at school. So school was my outlet. So reading and all that stuff. So I always take top of my class, region. So I was really good in maths, and every semester basically I just keep moving and moving. And in my culture, the max you could go as a girl, as a female, is high school.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's it. And then you get married. So they were like, my auntie was like, she's doing great. Like, we're not paying tuition or anything. Like, she's always having scholarship. Let's just let her go. And then it's like a pleading process. So every state, and then I made it all the way to university with a partial scholarship. And then my sister used to work, and she would like borrow money here and there to pay the tuition fees.
Oh, wow. So the university was in Africa? Or was in
in Africa.
Okay.
So I did my bachelor's in computer science and mathematics.
Okay.
Yes. And then while being in mathematics and computer science, there are not many female. Of course, it's a male-dominated field.
Right.
I form a non-profit organization that teaches girls how to code, right? Computer programs.
What?
Yes.
Okay, we love that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that kind of blew up. And then there's this fellowship for Mandela Washington Fellow. This is 2016. Nelson Mandela, Obama created a fellowship, named it after Nelson Mandela, the late Nelson Mandela. It's for young African leaders that are doing amazing things. There's 40,000 applications, the whole of Africa, and they picked me.
What? Girl, this is God had ordered these steps.
Yeah.
Okay, and it reminds me. So, have you seen the Tyler Perry documentary?
Yes, I watched it over and over, and I cried. I was like, this is like my life. I'm obsessed with him.
Yes. It's, I mean, he talked about that. Like, my childhood wasn't great, but like I used all of that to, what I'm saying, be able to help me flourish and drive my success and my motivation. So I love that. Okay, so you got the Nelson Mandela scholarship or whatever, and so then what happened?
And then I was like, I need to leave this country.
I gotta get out of here.
Because there's a thing. When you in my tribe, you're assigned. I don't know what's the word assigned, but it's like betrothed to a husband already. So you already you don't have a choice. Like you have to get married to this person, and that's it.
Yeah,
I gotta leave because this guy's gonna have 5 wives and all that. So I was like, I can't make it here to go back to that.
Yeah.
So I was like applying for other scholarships.
Yes.
So when the fellowship came out, they published it. I was in it. I was sent to Northwestern University. Before that, I was applying for other universities in the area. So I got on the same period of time. I prayed to God, and first of all, I should have said I'm so grateful to God. That's what I always want to start with.
Yes.
And then I got another scholarship, which is a master's degree. So I had to come for the fellowship, leave, and come back 2 days for the master's scholarship. I was like, okay, now they can't say anything.
Right.
So that's how I got here.
How did you know though? Like, so and one thing in my mind, I always tell people like exposure breeds clarity for especially like women and kids, right? So like, how did you know as a kid that even though like I'm in this circumstance, this is not like what I want to be, where I want to be, like how did you know like something bigger is out there?
No. You're totally right, because this would happen while I was 8-10 years old, sleeping on the floor in the box, eating mosquitoes, and I'll just get up some days and I'll just kill every night basically. I'll kill bed bugs from my clothes because I would sleep on the floor. So I usually go to this shopkeeper that's at the corner, and we kind of have like an agreement, right? I help him clean the shop and stuff, and he'll give me boxes, like carton boxes, and I'll just cut them and lay on them at night. So while I'm sleeping on there, and sometimes I have to wake up and kill the bugs on the wall and stuff, I always say, one day I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to have a nice bed. I didn't think it was going to be $47 later, but just that I would buy a house eventually. So that's what it always started, that I'm always going to strive for more. Yeah,
I love that. And I want you, if you're listening, to take from that, because a lot of times we let our circumstances dictate our mindset.
Yeah.
And you can literally be, like you said, I was sleeping on the floor, but I knew that a house was coming. I knew that a bed was coming. So I want you to look around, take inventory of your circumstance, and be like, this ain't where I'm going to be forever. Like, I'm going to go up. Okay, this is good. Girl, we need to make a book. This is good. Okay. So then you get to America, and then what happened?
Yes, so the fellowship placed me at Northwestern University.
Okay.
But my other scholarship was
In Chicago?
In Chicago, yeah.
That's a good school.
Yeah, that's but it was so cold. From Africa, 95 degrees to Chicago minus something. I was like, this is too much.
Yes.
But yeah, from Northwestern, then I got the master's scholarship to study at the University of Illinois. So I did my master's
So
there.
how was Chicago for you? Like,
I loved it.
was it like coming from Africa, when you touched down, you got off the plane, what was like, were you like, what is this place?
Yeah,
like, what is going on?
But this is the thing with me. I have envisioned it. And when I came, it's like, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's movies or because I'm a daydreamer.
Yeah.
I talk to myself a lot. And some of the things, I will write it down. I remember there's this guy that has his shirt, like, sports shirt, and he has Illinois on it. And I usually just write Illinois on the side. When I was a kid, I never knew.
And, that was God showing you your vision for your future.
I used to write Illinois. I put the S like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
It happened to everything. It was just like, I felt like I knew it was going to happen. I knew God never failed me.
Yeah.
He never did. So I always knew it was going to be something. But Chicago was really cold. So when I finished Northwestern, I went to University of Illinois. I did my master's in information systems. And now after that, 2018, I graduated and I worked for CDC as a data scientist, senior data scientist.
Right.
Yeah.
Period. Well, congratulations, girl. I love it.
Thank you.
We love the girls making money. If you're over here on YouTube watching the podcast, listen, I need you to do me a favor. If you love me, do me this favor. Pull out your phone right now and go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts or anywhere that you actually listen to podcasts at, right? I need you to subscribe and leave a review. Listen, the way podcasts work is the streets don't know we doing good if it's not on the audio version. The YouTube version don't really count, okay? So go over there, leave us a review, and let us know how much you love the podcast. Now back to the episode. You got into this and you're like, what was your mindset as you started to step into your career? You are in this whole different country. I'm assuming, are your your sisters and your brother, are they here or are they still over there?
They're still over there. I'm a breadwinner, so I have to take care of them. My sister sacrificed a lot for me. Yeah. So I have to take care of them. I still do. Sometimes annoying because they're like, "Oh, we know you have money." I'm like, "Okay, it doesn't grow in plants. I really have to work for it." But yeah, so when I graduated, while I was in university, that's how the whole real estate actually took place. So as an international student, the scholarship waived my tuition fees while I worked for the university. So I analyzed their student data while they waived my tuition and give me $1,000 stipend. Oh, wow. From that $1,000 stipend, I have to pay student insurance. And if you're an international student or immigrant going for school, you know how much insurance is super expensive. So that goes about $500 out of the $1,000. And then, of course, I have to get roommates, right? And then we got a 3-bedroom house where we do both have like this person pays this much, this person pays that much. So what I realized was the owner of the home, kids also going to school. So they would get a property and then they will rent out the other rooms and have their kid live in one. I was like, this is so cool. But the best part is what the kid will do is instead of the other extra rooms, instead of renting it to one individual person, they will rent it per space. So other students that cannot afford a place will come and pay like 2, 3, not a room, mattress. So in one room, it'll be like 3, 4 people.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because our whole life is at university. So you go home, you sleep, you go back to school. So it's just a matter of coming to sleep. You just need a space to sleep. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to do this when I get money. And when I start CDC work, the minute I start, because when you're in IT and you're an international student, you get this thing called practical training, it's OPT. Basically what that means is within that 1 year, you have to work and have a company sponsor your visa. So you have 1 year to impress a company to do it. So most of the time they take advantage of immigrants. So when you're working, they give you, if they're paying, let's say $60,000, they probably pay you $30,000.
Wow.
So you're not getting that amount. And it's always that trial period to see, hey, are we really even interested in hiring you full time? Then they'll pay you. So I was on that trial period. When I got the CDC job, I was like, the minute I save money, it wasn't that, and I was like, the minute I save some money, I'm gonna go buy a house. And that's how I started. I started with $8,000. Like 3 months into my work, I was able to save $3,000, And I was like, okay, so I can't buy a house in Atlanta. That's super expensive for now. So I'm gonna start where I started. So in Chicago area, one of the campuses is in like 30 minutes, about 1 hour from Chicago. I was like, okay, let me look for those smaller cities that I can afford. And I kept looking and kept looking. So I bought my first triplex for $52,000 by putting $8,000 down. Yeah, that's how it all started. And now 47 doors later.
47 doors.
Yeah.
Yo, I know like your family, your sister, your brother, your family, your tribe just be like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I remember this little girl that was like running around here loving food, you know, and you out here in America doing your thing. So not only did you start opening 47 doors, but you came out here, you found your man, and you got married, and you had kids. Yeah. So how did that go? Because you literally said, I gotta go because they was trying to put me with some dude. I ain't know him. I wasn't trying to marry him. So like, how did you come and find like the love of your life and then start your family?
Yeah. So I knew him back home from college. Okay. So he had a major in mathematics and a minor in computer science. So we had so many courses together.
Gotcha. But so he's African as well.
He's African as well. But he always says, I remember you in class. Like, yeah, you do. The girl that always beat you guys in class. But yeah, he remember. We just joke about it. But that's how we met. And then he got a scholarship. He was like 2 semesters ahead of me. So he graduated before me, and he got a teaching assistant job in Arkansas. So when I came back, we reconnected.
Oh, I love that.
And then we got
married.
now,
and then when did y'all have kids?
We have a kid my last semester. I was 6. When I was graduate, I was 6 months pregnant.
Oh, my God.
So yeah, I was big belly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what is the difference now between like you, like, I can only imagine like your kids, they privileged, they like, you know, and you like, you talking about your game not working. You remember what I was doing when I was a kid, you know? So how does that work with, you know, raising your kid?
Yeah, he's 5, very privileged, and I have a 7-month-old baby. Aww. But you can tell he's very, very privileged. My husband always jokes, I bet they will not say, you know how everybody wants to have a sad story. He's like, I hope he's not going to say my parents are immigrants. I was like, no.
That's not your story.
That's not your story. You didn't get it from the mom. We built everything for you, basically. But yeah.
All right, y'all. I know y'all are tuning into this Ghetto CEO podcast episode, but I had to bring y'all a special guest. Okay, I want y'all. What you say? Buy real estate. Don't wait. What you say?
Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait.
Yes. Listen. Tell them about your program that you have.
Yeah. So my program, what I do is I'm a real estate investor. I buy cheap distressed properties out of state, fix them, furnish them, and rent them to travel nurses. And some of the properties I rent them on Section 8 because I like to get my money on the first of the month. So what I do is teach people how to do the same. Right now I have over 500 students, and every day we're closing. You can check my page. I have so many testimonials. So we buy these properties close to the hospitals. A lot of people think during COVID is when, you know, now that COVID's almost gone, the nurses and the business travelers have gone down. That's not always the case. And some people always think that you have to buy in a big city like Atlanta. I buy in smaller cities because the competition is less, and a lot of people are not doing what I'm doing. So at a bigger scale. So as long as there's a hospital and there's a business center, it's always a great place to start.
I love it. Listen, if y'all are trying to tap in, because literally she talked to me about like how she started at $40,000 and buy a $40,000 home, and how much did you put down? Like $8,000? $8,000, y'all, literally. And she said one of her students had like a 560 credit score, right? Like, and listen, don't wait. You need real estate, okay? You need to get your real estate. So I need y'all to go over there to her page, tap into her course. The link is below, and make sure you use code Ghetto CEO. Okay, that is one word, Ghetto CEO, and you're going to be able to enjoy this amazing course. Now, listen, make sure you do the work, okay? Because I want to see the receipts. All right, y'all. Now back to the episode. Okay, so what do you feel like is the next level for you? You got 47 doors. You've been going on this journey. Like, what do you see is next for you? Like, what do you want to do next?
So I think I want to focus on helping people more. So last year, when I started my first property, my second one, I documented everything for me. So I opened a social media page called Building Wealth from Rentals. And I was like, I'm going to post everything. So my contractors, when they send me pictures of the work they're doing, mind you, I'm an out-of-state investor because I live in Georgia, and I'm buying out-of-state, so they would send me pictures.
And majority of your properties are in Illinois?
Illinois, Ohio, and Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of them, like every renovation, every other day, they will send me pictures, updates of things like what they've done on the day, and I'll just upload it. And I'll get a lot of people ask me, "Well, how do you do this?" And I end up I was like, "Oh, he wants to learn from me. Oh, she wants to know more." And I'm just giving free information. And they'll come back to me and say, "I did everything you told me. I just closed. I did everything. I just closed." I was like, eventually it's taking too much of my time just trying to fix their issues and stuff, and I'm the way I grew up, it's hard for me to say no. Yeah. So I don't have boundaries. I still struggle with that with my mentees. So I would just keep helping people, and sometimes I end up like 2 a.m. and I'm still messaging someone. Yeah. And I was like, someone's like, "I'll pay you if you can tell me how this is done." I'm like, "You pay me?" Oh, okay. And that's how it started. That's how it started. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of doing one-on-ones, I'll just do group mentorship. And I started that.
I love that.
Yeah, I started mentoring. Yeah.
So you started helping these people get their properties and things of that nature.
Yep.
And I know this whole journey has been a journey, right? Yeah. It's a marathon, not a race. What do you feel like has been like the most ghettoest thing, a part of this journey? Like, oh my God, like I didn't know I was gonna have to do all of this. I was just trying to make a little money. Yeah,
it's people. So if you're in real estate, working with contractors, because especially out of state, you have to work with contractors. Even if the property is in your backyard, it's still a struggle. Working with contract, especially working out of state. But I've built, at the beginning it was very hard, but I got cheated with contractors, wrong receipts, property managers, all of that. But I found a solution, because this is the thing, the way I grew up, I had nothing. I worked my way up here by the grace of God, so I have to fix it. So I just automate things, make everything easy, so everything is systematic. I have great contractors that work for me. I have systems in place that you can't take money from me. When I pay you, the work is not done. I'm able to get the money back without you getting paid. So that's how I scaled.
I honestly could only imagine, because y'all just think about, like, we're thinking about, you're on a bigger scale of like contractors and hiring, and you got to have teams in different cities and all of that. I just be thinking about the people that just got one VA that can't do their job. You know what I'm saying? But like your team, like you gotta have real people that's actually. And the thing is, for you, you can't go up there and fix a house. No, you know what I'm saying? I can't even do what I need to do without y'all doing your job. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That would be ghetto. Yeah.
and the properties I buy, cheap distressed properties, are 50,000, 60, 70,000 properties that need work for 20, 30, 40. So once the work is done, then the value is there. So somebody got to do the work. Yeah. So I have to get a great team to do the work, and I can't manage those properties. So when I fix the properties, I furnish them and I rent them to travel nurses, business professionals, insurance companies. So I have to have a management team to take care of all of that. Right. I just want to sign the lease. Right. That's it. So everything has to be taken care of. I need a team. So it's hard finding that team, but once you do, it's great.
Yes. Yeah. And so thinking about like your journey and where you want to go, if money was not an object and you could do anything in business right now, like what would that thing be? Like how would you like say, this is how I'm gonna leave my impact, like this is what I'm gonna do?
I want to help a lot of people. So this is the thing, a lot of people have been thinking of investing, and you might even be that type of person that have been looking to invest in real estate for so long, but you just feel like it's hard. The contractors again, because there's so many stories that you hear. Like a lot of, and some people are not investing because they think you need a lot of money. Which is not the case. Like some of my mentees would have a credit score of 560. Wow. And then the local banks that I work with will still get them approved. And then they're able to buy. So I always say, start with something small. So they'll buy a house that's $40,000. They only have to put 15% down, 10% down, and then you scale. Because I started with Section 8 properties. Because when I started was COVID, I was like, what system am I going to put in place so I get cash all the time? I get paid on time. I don't have to worry, especially being out of state. And that's how it scaled. But a lot of people always have this, like, it's a norm, like, oh, the contractors are going to take your money, or it has to be a fix and flip. It has to look like HGTV kind of, renovation. That's not always the case. So a lot of people always have this misconception of, oh, I either have to have a lot of money, or I have to have so much experience, or I have to do a fix and flip. But it's not that. You start small. You start cash flowing 2-3 properties that will give you 1,000, 1,500. And then now you look attracted to the bank, and then when you go, it's like, okay, she can get a $200,000 loan because she now has, $4,000 coming in every first of the month.
Right.
So now it's like we can give her a loan of $200,000, which the mortgage is probably $1,000 because she's getting $400,000, $4,000 a month, right? That's how much a year. Right. So that's how a lot of people, and that's something I want to put out there, and that's why like when my mentees post and say, well, I just closed on a $40,000 home. It already came with a tenant. It's like, how is this possible? Yeah. I'm like, I understand. Some people are like, it's possible. You're arguing back and forth with them. I don't have to argue with you because I do understand. Even when I was starting, I thought I had to have a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people do. I remember me and my boyfriend was talking about getting into real estate, but we actually started with Turo. So we wanted to do passive income. We started with Turo. We hated it. I am boycotting the whole passive income community talking about this Turo stuff, okay? I got trauma, okay? Yeah, but we was talking about real estate, and we went to go look at this property out here in Atlanta, and it was a quadruplex. It was 4 people in there. They was paying rent. They was probably paying around like $1,000 to $1,500 each, and then but it was like $400,000, and we was like, I don't know if this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We want to put, but like what you're saying, start small, start at 40, and a lot of times with me, and I tell people all the time, passive income ain't passive until you make it passive. Like you got to be active first, then it becomes passive, right?
You have to put in the work.
Yeah, you got to put in the work, and so I definitely think y'all better. This is good, okay? She finna help me buy my first property, y'all. This is how this is going to go, okay? I'm gonna buy my property, and then all my team, we're gonna help them.
Yeah, you start with the 40,000 home, then your next one, because you're cash flowing, then you go to 60,000, then you go to 100,000. That's how I started, because I couldn't afford Georgia, now I can afford anything in Georgia. Yeah. So that's how I started. I started where I could afford, especially the Midwest. You find these properties. A lot of people say, where are you gonna find this property? You don't have those properties in the market. You did not put in the work. I put in the work. You put in the work, you find it. My mentees also have those doubts before they joined. Yeah. And now they're closing. You can check my page.
Yeah,
so many testimonials.
We've been closing.
We just closed yesterday and today too.
Yes,
so yeah.
I love it. So do you have a max number? Like, are you like, okay, once I get to 100, that's it? Or like, do you have a number like you like, that's it?
Oh, like for rental properties? No, because my goal is, right now I'm doing residential and small multifamily, small commercials, like 8 units, 10 units, 12 units. I just closed on a 12 unit like 2 weeks ago. But my goal is, next step is going big commercial, like self-storage facilities.
I love
mini storage, yeah.
I love it. Okay. Well, dang, the time done went. I got hella questions. I'm like, okay, so where should we go look for our property first? Listen, I'm getting in class, so I hope y'all get in class, because we finna go up. But if you had to say anything to them before we go, what would you say to get them started on their real estate journey?
Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Because this is the thing. You want to buy an asset that's going to continue to pay you. If you can't afford to buy those type of houses, you're eligible to buy your primary home. You can use FHA loan. You can get a duplex where you live. Like your 400 example is already multifamily. You can use 1 unit. You could put 20% down, and you can use 1 unit, and the other units will be an income to you. So that will you're basically living rent free and still cash flow. And then after that, the next year you can leave that unit. Now you have 4 units rented out, and you can put that money, get another property, and then you can live in that one. Some people will say, well, I don't want to live with all those people. You can start with a single family and a 3-bedroom. Yeah. Live there 1 year and then move to the next one.
Ooh, I love it. Get started.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
Don't wait to buy real estate. Yes. Buy real estate and wait.
Yes. I love it. Y'all, I hope y'all tapped into this Ghetto CEO Live episode. I know y'all are literally dropping flames in the chats right now because this was just so good. But I hope you guys stay tuned to the next episode of the Ghetto CEO podcast, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, y'all.
Ooh, the ghetto. Invoice in. That ain't ghetto. Money spin. Oh, that's ghetto. Hold on.